Hello, my friends. On today's episode, I'm here with Mr. Mark Fisher, and we're talking about 3 courses we now have newly available for you to take on our website. One course is called Time Ninja, which is basically time management for gym owners. We've offered this one before, but it's our best, most popular course. It's been around for a long time. You all love it, so we keep offering it. If you haven't done that one yet, go grab that one. We have a new one called Gym Growth Blastoff we just made last year, which is all about marketing and sales, getting more leads. And then a brand new course that I just made in the last few months called Open Strong, which is all about how to open your first or second location. It's a complete roadmap from defining your brand and your client avatar to finding the right space and securing funding. It's everything you need to open a gym with less stress. And if you're ready to kind of crush your fall and jump right in, if you act now before Monday, September 8th, you will get some preferred pricing for all of those courses. You can buy one for a couple $100 off, or you can buy all 3 for an even better discount. So go ahead and go click the link down below in the show notes. Go to businessforunicorns.com/courses. You'll see a full description of all 3 courses. You can get one, or you can get all 3. And so in today's episode, we're going to unpack some of the lessons from these courses, some things you can learn from these 3 courses. And I'm excited to dive in because I'm so glad these courses are now available to all of you on our website. So let's get into today's episode. Hello, fitness business nerds. What's up? Welcome to another episode of the Business for Unicorns podcast. I'm back with Mr. Mark Fisher today. How are you, sir?
I am doing great. Really full week here. Very full week.
It's a full week. And I think this is a week before you go to Burning Man. Isn't that right?
That's right. I go to Burning Man next week. And then last week, although it feels like a million years ago now, it was like just 5 days ago, was Perform Better in Rhode Island.
That's right.
Which was amazing. But yeah, but a crazy week because the week before I was out and then next week I'm out. But yeah, excited about Burning Man, and Perform Better was so great. Got to see so many of our super killers out there, a lot of wonderful clients. It was lovely to see and hang out with, and yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, a lot of people want to message me and talk to me in coaching calls this past week about how much they love seeing the Business for Unicorns team there, how it was actually a good one. It was like over 1,000 people, I think, at this Perform Better this time.
Huge event.
So
huge
great
event.
Crowd. And so, I know we talk about them all the time on this podcast, but we really do. Our team really does go. A lot of our members go, and we recommend it for all of you. So go check it out.
Yeah,
Perform Better. So today we want to talk a little bit about a cool opportunity that we have coming up for all of our listeners, which is we're launching some courses. And we really haven't spent a ton of time in the last few years putting out like really accessible course content for people, but we're focused on that a little bit more now. And I'm really stoked for it because I think it means a lot of people listening to this podcast who've been longtime listeners, who are maybe not the right fit for something like Unicorn Society, can work with us in a more accessible way. And so I don't know, you want to tell folks what we're doing?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is I will clarify, and I think we should confess, like, we've had the courses for, Time Ninja we've had for a couple of years.
Well, we've been doing courses, but mainly been focused on our members, and we haven't made a big deal as like we are now. Yeah.
There's maybe someone named Mark Fisher on the team who arguably could have done a better job of getting the word out about this thing, like as in you couldn't even find it on the website. So anyway,
if we just had someone on the team who cared about marketing.
Only we had somebody that had that job and were responsible for it. So anyway, yeah, I mean, all that to say, it is true. Like, so listen, for a long time, we have had this Time Ninja course, which we've sold like once or twice per year. And it's one of our most popular things. And I think it's super valuable. People really like it. I know it's like it's something like a lot of our members have their whole team do. I always make anybody I hire, literally anybody I hire, I make go through the course. I think it's super awesome. And it wasn't even available on the website, right? Just because, like, to your point, Keeler, I think my understanding is the guy who's in charge of marketing would say that, you kind of got to be careful because you only have so much bandwidth. So if that's not the best thing for people, not that's not amazing, but for the most part, if you can afford and do the unicorn side, like that's the way we could be most helpful.
Yes.
But to your point, Keeler, for some people, like that's maybe not the right fit. Sometimes they're not in place financially for it. In some situations, maybe they have another solution that they really, really love, but would be interested in another way of learning from us. So, another step we took forward was last year. A lot of I did several rounds of a course focused on just getting more leads and more clients, and called it Gym Growth Blastoff. And it was super fun. I did a few rounds live because I really wanted to tighten up the content. Then after I'd done a few rounds with people to sort of see where I was like making things confusing or had too much in, as always happens when you make these courses, then went back into the laboratory with the help of Ben and Mike Baranis. And then we made that into a course, which we launched. It was awesome. And then again, same thing. We talked about it for like 5 days. A bunch of people bought it. They had a great time. It's great. It's cool, right? And now, excitingly, we'll talk a little bit about this new course, which Keeler took the lead on, Open Strong, which is focused on how you open up your first or your next location, profit from day one without burning out and completely losing your mind. And that last part is implicit. That's not on the landing page, but that is a thing that can happen. So now that we have three courses, it's exciting because, we're launching Open Strong and, finally being an adult business person. It's even going to be available on the website. By the time you go to the podcast, there will be a courses button where you can find them on the website. So if a stranger wants to buy them, you don't need to be like, I think they talked about this in emails, but I don't see it. And maybe more exciting. And we'll jump a little bit more into specifically what's in Open Strong, because this is something that is super important. I know there's a lot of people that follow us that haven't opened up their gym yet, or maybe just opened. And also more and more, a lot of people that, particularly people like we're working with, are opening up many locations.
Multiple gyms,
one of them. Yeah, it's one of the most exciting things we're seeing, both in the leadership society, even in the unicorn society at large. People are like swinging, right? People are really going for it. And we have learned a lot of things about this. And certainly it's a lot of my focus these days on even how I'm spending my time, both as a part of the franchise and sort of who I'm spending time with to continue my own education. So we're launching this course. And the cool thing is, if you sign up by Monday, September 8th, you will get $200 off either of these courses. And if you want to buy all three, you'll get 50% off the full price, which is several $100s even more than that. So anyway, you can go to businessforunicorns.com/courses, and you'll be able to find all of those individual buttons. And I'm sure there'll be a link here in the show notes. So I'll pull up there for anything else you want to add, Keeler.
Well, I'll just say this, that, I think there's a reason why we're starting with these three courses, because in many ways, we think these are three real true bottlenecks for many of you out there listening, right? That we talk all the time about the fact that often you as the owner or the founder are the bottleneck to your business's growth because your time and attention and energy is not going to the most important things. Right. And so how you spend your time, energy, and attention is just like one of the most critical elements of your success. So taking a course like Time Ninja and getting better at managing your to-do list, managing your calendar, it's something we actually do when we onboard every new Unicorn Society member. We do exercises from the Time Ninja course. We don't make them do the whole course, though I certainly recommend it. And so I just say that, that's one of the first courses we're launching and have made public, because it really is important for you to be really crystal clear about how you spend your time. And Mark and I have been using and improving all the methods in that course for literally years. And so I'm a big fan of that one. I think most people should start there and share it with their teams. Gym Growth Blastoff has been huge. We've gotten such great feedback from it, because the other big challenge everyone has when they're running a gym is they just need more leads. And all too often their marketing plan is a little bit just like them chasing their tail, trying to figure out what's next. When the reality is this course teaches them to put in systems that make it easy, because you're repeating the same systems over and over again. You're building a real machine that does your marketing for you. And I think that's what everyone wants and no one knows how to get. And that course does that beautifully. And then, lastly, I'll just say this, that I'm just really proud of the Open Strong course. I spent a whole quarter working on it. It includes everything we've known and learned from ourselves, from all the clients we've worked with who've opened one or multiple gyms. It also includes knowledge from other outside experts that we've worked with, like Stu Brower at the Gym Real Estate Company, some information that he shared with us. Who else is in there? Corey Sterling from Conscious Counsel is a lawyer that we've worked with before. So there's information in the course about legal considerations. But I wanted to do this because I wanted to create the playbook or the handbook that I wish we had in 2011 when we were opening Mark Fisher Fitness. The playbook that so many of our fellow Unicorn Society members in our community, we all wish we had, but no one had a playbook. And so we were like, let's make one. The thing that the feedback I've gotten so far about people who've gone through it that they really like, and I think all of you listening would like as well, is that it does take an approach to building a business that's about how do you best serve the people in the world for whom you want to make an impact. I know that many of you have listened to this podcast for a long time because you like that Mark and I are focused on delivering the best possible services to make the most meaningful impact we can in this world. And this course is teaching you how to approach business from that perspective. Yes, we talk about balance sheets and profit and loss statements and budgets. Yes, we talk about legal considerations and price per square foot when you're looking for space, and and looking at your competitive landscape in different markets that you might move into. We look at all that stuff. Right. But we also do it from a lens of, okay, who is your core avatar? Who do you want to serve? And how do you make all those decisions with them in mind? So you really can work with the people that you're most stoked to work with in this world. And the feedback I've gotten from the course so far is that that's really clear, that that's something that people won't find, I think, in any other workbook or course like this when it comes to building a gym. Is they might tell you the mechanics, but they don't tell you how to build a business that has heart, that has real personality, that is a representation of you, and that really serves the people you want to serve. And I'm proud of that aspect.
Yeah, I think it's it's something that, to your point, like this wasn't available that long ago. I think it's only like collectively, by my estimation, the past few years that you're seeing more commonly people are opening up second locations that are going okay.
Yep.
So particularly in the independent gym owner space, and I think it's important to note this is different than the boutique space. You had some examples of some corporate boutique fitness brands getting some scale, certainly SoulCycle, Solidcore. Those obviously famously were sold in part and partial and for big exits. But in the independent training gym owner space, the world that a lot of you listening come from, you just didn't see a lot of that. And part of the issue that everybody kind of had collectively was, well, since none of us had really done it, nobody really knew what to talk about, and more and more, it's been interesting because more and more it maybe should have been obvious to me the whole time. It kind of wasn't. It's like, oh, there's the operations world, but there's also like the opening up world, right? It's like you have your operational expense and your capital expense world, right? It's like there's the money you need to open up the thing and what that process looks like. And that is a very different set, frankly, of skills and processes and systems than the skills and processes of running the thing successfully, right? And it's hard because nobody, with a few exceptions, there are a few exceptions actually, some friends of mine, but for the most part, people aren't getting tons of reps doing this. Like you're not getting lots of swings, right? And not only that, but the other thing that is like ugly and true and like doesn't ever win me friends to say is like there's going to be some luck involved, right? If you choose the wrong location and or if you don't hire the right staff, particularly if it's a second location, it's a little bit different if you are you're the brand and you're just opening up your own spot and starting small. I think that makes it a little bit easier in some ways, though certainly you have a lot more work to do in that situation. But the upside is like this, like similar to the world of franchising, I think conventional wisdom, which I think is largely true, is if you get 5 locations, you're going to get lucky in one and think you're genius. One is going to go bad and you'll feel badly by yourself. 3 will be fine. And your skills still matter, right? Because your skills, if everything is even just 10 to 20% better because you have the kind of information in a course like this, you're just protecting yourself, right? Because even if things go bad and you get bad rolls of the dice, you can still pull out of a tailspin. You will start with more members from the get-go. You can avoid some of the common mistakes that we see in leases, right? One of which, oh boy, we made it. It's fine. It's funny. This is a sore spot because we actually, and again, this is on me, made a mistake recently in the lease that I have for my gym in New Jersey that cost me some money on Monday. So that's fine, but I know better now.
We have all of those. We have a lot of don'ts in this course as well. A lot of things that come from real pain and heartache, it's they put in there.
Almost more so for the opening than for the running, because when the plane is in the air, I don't know if this is exactly true, right? I might say that when the plane is in the air, things are maybe a little bit more forgiving to navigate.
There's a little momentum, right? Once you have some revenue that's paying the bills and you know you can cover the basics, then there's a little bit of a momentum behind you. But getting the wheel turning at first is there's so many every choice determines how much momentum gets on the wheel. And I think that's what this course is trying to you do is approach each choice methodically, one at a time. And listen, can you open a gym without a course like this? Probably. Can you get workout results, right? Can you get workout results by going to a gym and just like working out, moving your body more than you did before? Sure. It'd be better if you had a program that was designed kind of for your goals and preferences in the gym. Probably, right? So like this is a roadmap, right? This is a program for someone to follow that says, okay, start here, then here, then here, then here. And there might be a little going back and forth, right? A few back steps is normal. And we talk about that in the course. But it's better to have a roadmap from people who've been there and done it than to not.
And maybe say like a final thing here because like go buy the courses or
go buy it.
But you should buy them. The final thing I want to say is I just want you to consider this because I really think if you don't get some of this information first, you are taking massive risk, and things like might, worst case scenario, go really bad, and in a best case scenario, just cause untold amount of grief and financial hardship for you and your family. Like, I know that's hard, but the reality is, interesting, because a lot of what I do now, I do a lot of like deep dives on various people's like gyms, right? And it's interesting too, because obviously, as probably surprised no one, if I'm doing it with someone in our leadership society, it's fun and challenging kind of a different way, because often it's like, oh, well, this is like looking pretty good. And
you're doing pretty great.
Revenue is good, and the margins are nice, and the right amount of square footage. There are a number of very important decisions that, if you get them wrong in the beginning, become very hard to unwind, right? If you don't have the right space, if you don't have the right pricing model, if you're not paying your staff the right amount when that happens, if you haven't gotten very clear on who it is you're serving and making sure everything is built out of that, so then the marketing doesn't work, if you don't have a good pre-sale and get like some butts in the door, so you're not trying to run from a complete standing start in a place that feels like a creepy, empty restaurant. And again, I'm not trying to scare you into this, but I'm trying to be real with you. Like,
that's real.
If you're considering opening up a gym, and here's my other pitch, the last pitch, and I'll stop. Shut up, Mark. Stop selling me. The last pitch is, it's even more important if you're doing your second location.
Sure.
Because you no doubt have learned some good things from your first one, but you may or may not be learning the right lessons, right? Like, there, if you fumbled into this, as Keeler said, if you open up your first location as the person that just went to the gym and started training and got real, and just kind of got jacked, well, in that, to make this metaphor stretch to the point of completely breaking, you might have just had the kind of physique where, like, yeah, kind of anything you did. There's some people just like, they look at weights and they get jacked. That might have been the case with the first location, particularly because if you have a lot of main character energy, the force of your personal energy can drive a lot of the results in one location. It's not going to happen in two, right? Because by definitionally, you're going to take attention off the first location. And then likely, if you were very lucky on the first location, which you can usually assume that to be the case if things have gone very well and it's been very profitable. I'm not saying you haven't done a lot of things, right? You've also done things right. If it's very successful, you were lucky, but also you did a lot of things right. Be very, very proud of that. A lot of those skills will map. But with the second location, there is a world that your results are going to be impacted by the luck of the draw. And definitionally, if the first location, you got a little bit lucky, you can assume there's going to be regression to mean that you might not be as lucky with that second location, to say nothing of the fact that as soon as you start to split yourself, it just becomes a very different game. It's a very different game. And in particular, I'll just say, I think this starts to change to actually after several locations. I think there's like an awkward middle of the road place that sometimes you want to kind of go through, but I'll pull up theirs. I won't be relevant to many listeners.
Well, it's a course and a podcast for another day, for real. But I think I'll end with this final thought from me, which is just, I've been doing this podcast now for over 500 episodes. And there hasn't been that many opportunities over these years for all of you who are kind of not gym owners yet to work with us. There just hasn't been that many. I can count them on my fingers and toes, probably, right? And that's, we own that. that's on us. But I think I'm really excited about the fact that many of you out there who are personal trainers or work for other people, or just aspire to maybe open a gym one day, or just like the industry and want to learn more, that there's something here for you now, right? These courses are going to be our way of getting a little closer, getting to know you getting a little bit more of kind of our wisdom behind the scenes, and I'm excited for that. I'm excited, especially because this podcast has been my baby for so long, and I'm excited for more of you to take the next step and do something with us. I think it's going to be the right price point, and it's all self-paced courses. You can do them as slow or as fast as you want, and I'm stoked for that. So I hope you all will do it. Obviously, we'll put all the information down below. It's specificunicorns.com/courses. Buy one, buy them all, and then once you do all of that, once you open up your gym, join Unicorn Society. We're here for you every step of the way. Yeah. Any parting thoughts there, Fisher?
No, I believe in you. And I think if you are planning another location, or you're listening, you don't have one open yet, I believe in you, and this is doable. And more so than ever, the information is out there, and it would mean a lot if we have this opportunity to get you some information, get you there faster than we got there.
Yeah, 100%. We wish we're building these things because we wish we had them. You have them. So grab on and you can do this. Awesome. Well, thanks for a great chat as always, Fisher, and dear listeners. I'll see you on the next one. Have a kick-ass day.